Hello there you, and welcome to the planet of Balethar, where Chaos forces of the Black Legion have been waging a critical war. Wanting to claim the planet's critical minerals for itself, they are here to claim all the cobalt, lithium and graphite. However, currently inhabiting these lands is a large Orky horde which the Chaos will now have to defeat. As a brutal fight for the front rages, who will come out on top? Will the Black Legion be able to claim their critical minerals? Or will the Orky Wagh manipulate and dominate their enemies? But before we do kick off today's fight, I just want to say a massive shout out to all you channel members who help to keep this channel going. And if you're not a channel member, why the heck not? Click the join button down below. And while you're at it, go ahead, check out the amazing ChaoticPinky store. We got some really cool merch over there. But with all that being said, let's get on with today's battle. The ladies and gentler giants of the internet, kicking off today's absolute slaughter that we've got lined up for you here. Now the Orky horde are going to have to try and break their way through the Chaos ranks that we've got formed over here. Chaos are going to try and hold their ground, use the artillery to pummel the front ranks here of our gigantic Ork war. 2.7 million Orks, by the way. There's a fair old chunk of Orky warriors here on the field, and it's going to take quite a lot of Chaos to get their way through it. Luckily, the Chaos have brought a lot of firepower with them today, but you can see already the renegade gunners here under a desperate assault by the Orks as they come clattering forward, trying to smash their way through their renegade ranks, but the line is holding firmly as they return auto gunfire right back into it already. The deadly artillery fire coming down into the massed ranks of the Orks, sending Orks up into the stratosphere. Look at that. Oh, poor little Orky. You've got to love it. Now, the Orks have definitely got a big old fight ahead of them here, but they definitely have the numbers and the aggression to be able to take their way through these front lines here. They're just going to have to buy their time. Look at that, though. Them artillery strikes, as deadly as they are accurate at the moment. The Chaos really just trying to bide as much time as possible, want to pump fire down into the Orky forces. Because quite frankly, the Chaos don't have the melee capability on the field here today, largely relying on gunfire to be able to take out the massed Orky horde. And oh my god, look at this massed Orky horde, slowly chugging its way through them front lines. The artillery not outright killing all of the boys, dispersing some of them in amongst the line here. We're just helping them actually to chop and carve the way through it. Oh, you can't just drop an artillery shell on an Ork's head and expect him to die. No, this gets so much harder than that. And the Orks are proving that at the moment. Oh, Chaos is ahead in terms of kills with 47,000 under the belt. The Orks with 23 though. Them numbers are slowly climbing up. And it looks like the Chaos can no longer hold the lines at the back. A few of them now charging their way forward. The frenzy of Chaos has begun. A couple of them though, more disciplined, still holding the line, pumping out and covering fire into the other ranks. Again, that artillery devastating in effect here against such a massed opposition. And I mean, realistically, when you have got an army this size, every inch of the ground is just going to be covered. So, yeah, artillery fire is just going to be the king of any old battlefield in the Warhammer 40k universe. Every army needs their artillery. Look at this, though. A magnificent surge forward here, coming out to the Orks, making their way into the second defensive line. Now that's where things will start to get spicy. You can see this is where, right, we might as well go check out over here. We've got the Black Legion coming in overhead. We've got a couple of Warhounds also making their way to the front line. These things are absolutely devastating. Again, against big groups of Orks like this, they should be shredding their way through them. But the Orks have definitely got to use their number advantage here. You can see that they're trying to push forward. We have got a melee countercharge coming out of the Chaos lines, trying to halt the Orky advance. Oh my god! Magnificent artillery strike there, just landing right into the Ork lines. Oh, you absolutely love to see it. But the wave of greed moves forward. The front line now almost completely disintegrated. This is all that remains. The last few remnants here getting taken down by Meganobs. And then Meganobs, look at that, just cleaving a pathway through them. Absolutely devastating. Their big pneumatic claws there. But yeah, the second line now under heavy assault. Look at this, we are starting to get these little counter charges from Chaos making their way forward to try and hold the line. They're doing a magnificent job on this flank, it must be said. Look at this. Holding the entire Ork Wagh back. The Renegade gunners charging into the fray. Hoping to hold that line again, letting that artillery do its work. Have any of the Orks actually started going around the mountain here? No, they haven't. That's good news for the Chaos. As long as they can hold this line, that's all they need to do. Oh, you can see, though, that the last line of defense is starting to open up here. Now, the last line of defense is all last guns here, so it offers significant base of firepower for the Chaos team. Most of these front rows here, these are all auto gunners. Firing normal bullets, basically, but yeah, the last guns are going to absolutely rip into them Ork lines, and already you can see the kill counter starting to rapidly increase there for the Chaos as these last guns add their weight of fire to the field. We are getting these crazy little counter charges as cultist gunners make their way forward. Not so much gunning, but stabbing. There we go. The Orks getting distracted by these pockets of resistance, allowing the Warhounds in the background to start adding their own firepower here. But inevitability looks like that the second line is going to collapse here for the Chaos. They're doing such a good job of holding back though for now. They need to inflict way more damage than they have at the moment though. Oh, here we go. Looks like actually the Chaos started pathing the way over the mountain. With the Chaos now pathing the way up here, it's actually allowed the Orks to go, oh look lads, there's another way round. And so the Orks are going to start piling up here. Where are they actually coming from? Oh, there's a tiny little gap here. Okay, so it looks like we may end up with a load of Orks storming over here, because the Orks are going to be able to put reinforcements into this zone quicker than the Chaos can. You can already see the lines starting to collapse. The Orks making the way over the top of the mountain. Chaos may have sealed their own fate with this one. We don't know how bad that flanking maneuver is going to be, but it does open them up right to the artillery line. And that artillery line is working overtime on our front lines at the moment. Now we are trying to hold back a clear advance here, breaking through the second lines. You can see the Chaos cultists just charging forward, trying to hold them in place as best as they can. The Chaos Renegade gunners pumping out as much firepower as humanly or chaosly possible. We're actually starting to get a bit of a defilade of bodies appearing over here. You can see where that last fire is really taking effect. The concentrated firepower from the artillery and the Warhounds also helping out immensely. But yeah, it's these larger flanks that we need to worry about over here. Again, the Orks seem to have the numbers to be able to pump into this, whereas the Chaos do not. They need to be able to hold that line desperately. But the Orkies are just making short work of any of the Renegade gunners that are charging forward. But again, it's all about buying them vital seconds. Look at the defilade that was created over here. The Orks now charging over it. So we definitely did some damage to at least one side. Whether it was Chaos or Orks, we don't know. And the last fire is starting to intensify. The Orks here trying to break through the front. But they are struggling under the weight of a pressing glass. The Chaos doing a bang-up job of holding that line. Look at this though, the larger flank is still holding somehow over here. Chaos able to push enough reinforcements into this line to make it hold, which is all fantastic news. It allows our artillery to keep working overtime. But these Warhounds are also going to be providing some excellent covering fire now. They also can take a little bit of a beating here. They're not absolutely like hard as nails, but they can certainly take a little bit more of a beating than your average trooper. That's certain to say. But at the end of the day, how long can you survive against an Ork Meganob's pneumatic claw? I don't care if you are a Warhound, you're still going to take damage from that. Look at that though, the Chaos actually doing really well here. I don't normally have the Chaos on defense in my battles too often, so Having the Chaos set up in a static line like this is normally something that the Imperial Guard do. So it's kind of interesting for me to see how well the Chaos actually do at being able to hold the ground like this. Look at that last fire. It is ripping open the front lines of Orks as they try to push through. Again, the occasional cultist coming out, distracting the Orks. Is really helping out the Chaos so much here. How are we doing on the larger flank, though? Looks like the Orks are starting to push through that area, little by little. Again, these little trickles of reinforcements buying the time that they need to get that covering fire in, damage as many of the Orks as possible. Now, we've got about 210,000 Chaos remaining here against just under 2 million Orks. So the Orks definitely still outnumber them. How are we doing on this side, chaps? Oh man, the Orks have swarmed over the entire hill and are now going to try and push down this little narrow path. I don't think Chaos has quite got the reinforcements to hold that, so we're going to have to put more men into that one little by little. So it does look like that flank finally collapsed over there. But again, we're getting this lovely little stream in for men coming into this flank, so I think this side should hold pretty well at the moment. Comparative to the rest of the line, where inch by inch, death by death, the Orks are clawing their way forward. But it has been a costly old fight for them so far. 500,000 losses to the Orky side. And they are beginning to assault the Warhound. He's taking a punishment. He's beating the tank unit at the moment. He's taunting the Orks. And the Orks are charging right at him. Come on, we need that artillery though. Keep working overtime. Keep pumping them big old rounds into the Orky horde. The artillery's actually still surviving, so the Ork shooters yet haven't managed to kill all the gun crews. You can see that the Dakar is starting to build up in the Orky lines little by little. They don't have loads with them today, simply because he made it really hard to balance. You can see how well the Orks are doing. They're storming over the first and second lines of defense here, but this is a big old wedge of chaos now that they've got to get through. And like I said, the last fire is nothing to be laughed at all. But it looks like the Orks are starting to gain control of this larger flank, which is exposing some of the artillery. And that is something we desperately do not want at the moment. Can we get a load of Chaos reinforcements coming down here to block this insane flanking maneuver from the Orks? That would be good. But on this front line, look at this. I've just noticed out the corner of my eye. We're starting to build a body pile over here, which means that the Orks are really struggling to advance over this. They are getting a few lads through every now and then, which is adding to their gains here. And for every one Chaos that they manage to kill, they also are starting to gain a little bit of ground. Again, diminishing returns on firepower. It's a common theme in this game. The more that the defenders lose, the more ground that the defenders lose. It's just simple mathematics. Oh, look at this. The Orks now completely ignoring that little pathway and making their own pathway down the back. Again, exposing the artillery. I'm not liking this. That is a bit dangerous here. How are we doing on this side? Are we holding off? We are just a little bit. The Orks, though, got an impressive gaze on that artillery. And we've actually brought in loads of Chaos now from that front line to try and defend these rear attacks that we've had. Little rear skirmishes coming out from the Orks. Look at this one. A couple of lads trying to sneak into the artillery. Chaos says no. But I am a little bit concerned about this flank. It's starting to crumble. The Chaos are having to pump so many reinforcements into it. It's ridiculous. Even with the concentrated last fire pumping out over these lines, it's just not enough. I guess it's because most of the Warhounds are actually concentrating on this front over here. And look, oh my god, that's a wonderful sight. Being able to see the Orks like this. I don't know, there's just something truly magnificent about it. And I'm actually starting to get a little bit worried for the Chaos team here. They're getting ground out in these firefights with the Orks. This flank, though, I'm actually just noticing that the Orks don't have many reinforcements in it anymore. We've got a bunch of shooters backing up the fight. But if we can start clearing up this, there's a bunch of knobs just behind it. Not mega knobs, just normal knobs. And look, they're about to make their way into that front as well. Obviously, it's slightly less powerful than Nobs, but no less dangerous all the same. They can still clear out vast swathes of infantry. Look at this. They are pouring their way through that Chaos line, just absolutely annihilating it here. The Nobs clearing the way forward. Just penetrating that line instantly as soon as they got there. And the Chaos now really struggling to hold that flank all together. Looks like the shooters actually managed to take out all the artillery. Oh, it is a sad day. A couple of the Black Legion have made their way over now to add their weight of fire to the support line, but yeah, look at that. The Chaos have just lost a buttload of artillery there. And we've got this Orky war now coming around the side. The Orks are just all over the Black Legion. The Black Legion really struggling to hold that line. Oh my god. The relentless nature of the Orks pushing forward here. It's just a literal meat grinder effect going on. So much concentrated firepower. Jeez, man. The Orks are taking heavy losses to gain this ground, though. I love these little flows of Chaos troops coming through the center lines. You got these little valleys that appear just in between the Chaos lines where the melee troops can make their way through. It's kind of cool to see. Oh my god, come on, tell me we're starting to clean up this flank. We actually are. Oh my days, they actually are. That concentrated last fire on the Nobs is really taking an effect here. But look how much of the area the Nobs cleaned out. We've got a bunch of shooters now pushing up. Again, probably trying to get sneak attacks off on the artillery. But it is not happening for them. The Chaos have actually managed to clear out a large chunk of the flank over here. That is really good news for them. The Orks now, the numbers are starting to dwindle. Only 650,000 of them left on the field. Already they've gone down by 10,000. They just lost 10,000 like that in a few seconds. This is a brutal battle of attrition now taking place on the front. Look at the Orks though coming in from the rear. Have all the artillery pieces been killed now? It looks like all the artillery has been taken out. The Orks have successfully destroyed the artillery pieces there. The shooters have done the work, as well as the counter charges. But yeah, looks like Chaos is about to lose its foothold on this cliff face here. They're about to get counter-charged in the rear. There's a sandwich that's going to happen. And the Chaos are pumping the cultists back out. Bayonet charge. Trying to hold that line as best as they can. But yeah, that is not a situation you want to be in. The only saving grace might be the fact that this line over here is almost cleared out. The Chaos are absolutely blasting the Orks with last fire on this side. But again, look at this. The Orks are starting to run out of numbers. They see these little divots in the Orky. Oh, it's not a divot. It's a massive group of Nobs. Oh my days, you don't want them boys getting to the front. Not at all. And they are making their way there bit by bit. And this happens to be one of the weakest points of the Chaos line. Oh no. The Chaos may be in a little bit of trouble here. 70,000 Chaos left on the field, struggling to hold back the Orks. Look at this pincer maneuver that's going on over this side. The Orks now masterclass of outflanking maneuverability there. Taking the high road, swooping down behind them, clearing out all the artillery, and now sandwiching the Chaos last line. Here's a brutal last stand here for the Black Legion. They are being chopped up and spat out. I mean, it's fairly inevitable here that this side of the field is going to be lost. Now, we just need to hold on to that side over here where we've cleaned out most of the forces. And we should be okay. Look at these poor Chaos over here. Oh, you poor guys. Yeah, there's no way out of there for you. The Orks have blocked that off completely. And I'm going to say that the entire left flank now for Chaos has just completely collapsed. The Orks are starting to pour over the entire field here. 300,000 Orks remaining and 50,000 Chaos. I mean, there's still a lot of Chaos on the field, don't get me wrong. And with them clearing out almost all of the reinforcements now from this side, They're actually in a pretty good position to start countercharging the large Ork presence over that side. So it is all still to play for here for the Chaos today. They have got a good chance of being able to push it through. These lines, I'm a little bit worried though. Look, here comes the knob charge. Is this going to break the Chaos line on this side? Or is it just going to get concentrated down under heavy firepower? The knobs evaporated here under the Chaos weight of firepower. Oh my days, look at that. That's what you get for not being mega knobs. They are trying to push through, but that concentrated last fire and the Warhounds have managed to take them out. You've done so well here, the Chaos have. 200,000 Orkies remain on the field, trying to push through it. It looks like this attack has almost petered out. The Chaos may be able to countercharge here soon. Again, we've got a large Ork force on this side of the field. But can the Chaos bring this back? I mean, less than 40,000 now. It's going to be tough. Right, let's hit a little time-lapse camera and see what happens. We'll be back in a second. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as the Black Legion here go hunting out the remaining Orks from the hill here. So it looks like all the Orks are actually stuck on top of this hill now. There's about 21,000 of them, but there's 15,000 Chaos remaining. So I do think this is going to be a Black Legion win here today. The poor old Orks trying to funnel down this tiny little gap here and just being lit up by bolts of fire like that. Yeah, it's not exactly fair for them. It's going to be a slow and painful death for the old Orkies here, so I think we can be wrapping this one up. With the Black Legion now controlling the critical minerals and the Orks lay dead at their feet, the Chaos thought they had won the ultimate prize, but unbeknownst to them, the Orkies had left behind a special little treat. I do hope you had a blast. I know I did. Please do comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time, peace.